Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 15. And on my way home from my 2-day trip last night, I noticed that my car was a little bit rough. It was kind of shaking a little bit over a certain speed, like 60 or 65. And figured that it must be the spark plugs. Maybe one of them's misfiring or something. And just like with my other car, I hadn't replaced it in like 300,000 miles. So I figured this one had probably never been replaced. And it's got over 200,000 miles. So found the parts last night. They're being picked up this morning. I am dropping off my car to get it fixed, have someone fix it for me. My wife is driving behind me, and then I'll drop her off at home and take off for the day. This means we're leaving about 4 hours later than normal. I've got a meeting starting in 5 minutes, so I'll be doing that as I'm driving to their house to drop off my car, and then finishing up the meeting on the drive home to my house to drop my wife off, and then we'll be taking off for the day. So not a big deal, just a little bit of a delay. We can handle it. We've dealt with it before. I don't have the numbers so far for the week. I'm estimating we're probably down maybe 3,000 or 4,000 for the week. That's just my guess. Maybe a little bit less, but we'll do what we can to get as close to even as possible today. Today's going to be a lesser opportunity day, less opportunity for blackjack, but I may surprise us, and I don't know, and I may add another spot that I wasn't expecting to go to play blackjack, even if I don't like that spot normally, just to have more opportunity. So letting you go for now, and I'll be back to update you shortly. Alright guys, I'm back. So right now it is 10:45 a.m. I have dropped off my car, dropped off my wife, I've got her car, and I'm heading out to the first casino. It's going to be a very, very, very busy weekend and night. Last night I went to sleep around 10 p.m., got plenty of rest, and I'm excited. I've got energy. I'm ready to go today. I'm out on the open highway now. The roads are much cleaner. We did get a lot of snow last night and expect a little bit more snow in the next 12 hours, but we should be good overall. Right now the goal is to go to a slots only casino, followed by another slots only, and then potentially 2 blackjack casinos. And my idea is what I may do, hit the first one, then the second one, then back to the first one, potentially on a different shift, and then so it's going to be kind of late tonight, and then 3 slots casinos, and then head home. So potential for a lot of sessions, and it's going to be a late night. It is still below freezing outside. It will be for at least another 4 days. As I'm talking to you right now, I see cars who have flown off the road, and police everywhere, and tow trucks everywhere, dragging people out of the grassy areas, and making sure everybody is okay. So definitely going to be a dangerous drive most of the day today, but we should be in good shape. We're up for the task, and I would love to make 4,000 or 5,000 today. I know that sounds like a lot, and normally it is a lot for going this direction, but you never know. We're going to work hard, try to get as many sessions in as possible. With all that being said, also, I have a lot of stuff going on at work right now, way more than I thought I did. So I'm going to have to try to spend at least 4 hours tonight, 4 hours tomorrow, and at least 6 hours on Sunday, catching up on all that stuff, so I look like the superstar I am on Monday. Monday we're going to have a team meeting with our director, and I'm going to be expected to show a lot of different things. So that's about it. You know, it sounds like a lot of stuff, and it is, but we're up for the task, and get it done. So letting you go for now, and I'll be back with the results from my first stop. Alright guys, I am back. That was a delightful stop. Let me tell you how it went down. So this place is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and so the roads weren't the best, and the parking lot wasn't clean, but I made it. I got in there, started looking at slot machines. I saw one right away that was a maybe, but I thought, well, let me see what else is in there, and if I can't find anything else, I may consider it. I let that one go. I find another one that's a good play. It's a high-risk play. It's $6 a spin, but I'm going to either net 300 or 400 or lose a couple hundred on there, so it was worth the risk. I ended up playing it through, and I ended up down about, I don't know, $60 or $70 or some stupid thing like that. So, all right, I can accept that. Let's move on. I move on to another machine and find a decent play on that one, play that one through, and I end up ahead like $97 after that one. That one, again, was a longer-term play. It was a higher-risk play. It was $8 a spin, and I found a $4 a spin one, played that one through. A $3 a spin one, played that one through. So you're thinking I'm either way up or way down. No, not so. I'm moving around, looking at everything. I go to my final machine, and I'm only ahead like $140 or something like that. I end up playing that one through. That was a short play at a low denomination, and by the time all the dust settled, I was ahead $169. So plus $169, and spent about, I don't know, they were all long plays, but I found them right away, so I wasn't in there too long, maybe 40 minutes or so. And I've got food expiring in a couple days here, so I had to use that. So I said, okay, give me 2 slices of pepperoni pizza and 2 of these large bottles of water, and I want the rest of it in candy bars. I figured it would be like 35 candy bars or something like that. So she's like, okay, that's going to be 15 candy bars. I'm like, wait a minute. No, you made a mistake. It should be this. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's 21 candy bars. Okay, maybe I calculated wrong. I'm in a hurry. I'll do it. She goes, okay, your number is 97. I'm like, 97? Why do I have a number? I just need 2 slices of pepperoni from right there. What's going on? And I'm waiting, and nobody is getting me my pizza. So I'm looking at the receipt, and I'm like, pizza, $47. Like, 2 slices of pepperoni pizza is $47. She put me down for 2 whole pizzas. I'm like, oh my gosh. So she's already put them in the oven at this point. So I'm like, no, you made a mistake. She's like, oh, let me call the manager. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take an hour. So I said, look, I'll make a deal with you. I said, there's a pizza right there that's missing 1 slice. I'll take that whole pizza, missing the slice. We'll count it as a whole pizza. And in place of the other pizza, give me like 6 candy bars, and we'll call it even. And the boss is like, I don't know, I'm old. It's going to take me, you know what, I'll trust you. That's fine, let's just do that. So I shorted myself 1 slice of pizza, but at least, you know, I'm not wasting time waiting for 2 pizzas that I'm not going to eat to be cooked. So I left there with whatever it is, over 30 candy bars, a couple waters, and a whole pizza missing a slice. And so now I know what I'm having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner tonight. And right now I am back on the road. You know what? I am so excited to play today. So excited. I don't know how you guys are not on the road 24/7. I want to be on the road, making money, cranking it out, doing all the right things, and moving forward. So I was just kind of doing some calculations in my head. I'm only down like 2,000 for the week. That's not bad. So I'm sure I can get to it today. That's our goal. We're going to be ahead for the week. Right now, I've been on the road for a minute here, still about 75 miles away from the next spot. I'm going to situate my laptop in a place that I can see it. I'm going to get my phone charged because the battery gets drained very quickly from running the internet from my computer while I'm driving. And I'll be back and let you know what's going on. So you're all caught up, and I'll be back soon. Alright guys, I'm back. Got myself situated here in the car. Oh, that was kind of a strange visit there. You know, everything that could happen wrong happened wrong. And I'm like in this big hurry trying to get out of there. And she's like, do you want oregano on your pizza? I'm like, yeah, give me about $9 worth for the difference for that missing slice. But anyway, I got that, and then I'm going out the door. I forgot to cash my voucher. It was like $700 voucher. Get to the car. I'm like, I can't find the car. Where the heck is my car? I know it's here. There's only 20 cars in the parking lot. Where's my car? And I forgot that I had my wife's car, so it was just this big cluster mess. But got that all done. Got in the car. I had a couple slices of pizza. Took my coat off. Temperature is hot now. It's 24 degrees. I'm feeling awesome right now. So no coat needed. 24 degrees. Let me check the thermostat for the house. It was so nice and toasty last night. It's going to go down to 4 degrees tonight. So I got my house temperature up to 72. Right now it's at 69, making its way to 72. And hopefully by tonight we'll still be in good shape. Tomorrow night, another cold night, and then we're out of the cold and in the clear. And from what I heard from one of my kids, and I'll check on it right now to make sure, it's going to be nice and warm here the next couple days after this. Let's see, we're going to be, by next week, we're going to be 30s, 40s. By next Friday, getting the 50s. Oh, this is great. So, you know what I forgot to do? I am going to do it before I get to my next stop. I never asked for my time off for my trip to Europe, so might be a good idea to get that approved before I spend $5,000 or $6,000 on airplane tickets. But I'm going to do that now. Hopefully that'll get approved Monday with my timesheet. He'll just click yes like he always does, and everything should be good. So what a nice day. 24 degrees, cloudy skies, but bright sun coming through the clouds. It feels like we're out of the woods of all that snow and bad weather we had, so feeling a lot better. Just to give you an idea of where I am compared to where I was yesterday at midnight, I am in the same time zone now, but I am 8 hours away from that spot, so maybe 8.5 hours away from that spot. So, one thing I do preach is not to hit the same casinos over and over again every single day. Once a week, okay. Twice a week, okay. Try to vary what shift you're there on, and it'll do you a lot of good. So, all right, I'm shutting up, letting you go. I'll be back soon. All right, guys, I am back. Oh man, took my coat off in the car. I walked into this place. Whew, nice brisk wind at 22 degrees right there, and actually it felt pretty good. So, walked into that place, and what did I see? No, I didn't. I did not see 400 Chinese people, Asian people. They are Chinese also, but Asian is a better word, but they're actually Chinese. I saw one in there, and instead of making $3.41, I made $489. $489. So I actually had a good session in there. There were actually opportunities to make money in there, and actually on my way out, I saw a lady coming in who is a regular, and I knew she was going to be hitting it hard. She was on the phone with someone, couldn't reach them, so she had an attendant hold her machine while she went to get that person, because they worked together as a team. Yesterday, the third to last casino I went to, I actually played a slot game that a friend of mine had referred to me, and you know who you are, and I always give you a hard time about it because you always hit and I don't on it. Well, I did hit. I said on the podcast that it was a $2.50 a spin. I said $1.50. It was actually $2.50 a spin, and I made $53 on it. So thank you for that. So far this morning, there's a game that I rarely play because it's always cleaned out, and I've actually hit it 3 times, including a hit for $456, another time for $232, and one other one I didn't take a picture of, and then a couple small games. One paid me $65 or $67, and another one paid me $117. So a lot of good things happening in there. Played games I usually don't play because they're already taken. But then again, all my other plays that I usually have to resort to, I checked those out, and all those were cleaned out. So there was also another game that I have a lot higher threshold than most people on, and I checked it and I left it on the screen. I walked around, looked at the other ones. They were on a carousel. I came back and there was a lady frantically pushing the button trying to hit on it. But from my results, which have not been many, but probably 5,000 spins on this machine, I don't believe that that's a good entry point. So I wish her well, but whatever. Let's see what's going on now. We're going to go play some blackjack now. I am excited about the blackjack. Unfortunately, it's already getting late. It's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but that's okay. We are on the move and going to make some more money here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the schedule. Blackjack at this place. I'll skip a small place, go to blackjack at another place, which should be open by then. They don't open till afternoon. Then blackjack at the same place again that I had just left, and then 3 slot places. So best case scenario, we're talking about 6 more stops. Worst case scenario, 4 more stops, and we'll see how it goes. So letting you go for now, plus 489, and moving on. Alright guys, I'm back. So had kind of a bad experience there, and it was my fault, actually. A little bit frustrated there. I was playing high limit blackjack. I had a good count going. I had a $400 bet out there, which means I've got a true 4, and I get a 20. And right away, you get so automatic with playing that, you get a, 10-9, you automatically wave it off. You haven't even seen the dealer's card yet, right? So I wave it. And I said, wait a minute, wait. And he hadn't looked at the ace yet to see if he had a blackjack or not. And he said, sorry. And I said, dude, you haven't even looked yet. He's like, well, the camera saw you wave, so they're going to believe me. And he looked and he had a blackjack. At that point, I get upset. So I'm frustrated. I'm playing faster. He's dealing faster, going up and down faster. And just had to put some bigger bets out there. I guess it showed that I was frustrated to him, and I shouldn't have done that. But also, I probably shouldn't have got up either, because I ended up leaving at the end of that shoe. And I shouldn't have, because I had a good thing going. I had a table to myself. I shouldn't have let him frustrate me. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that. I don't know. But at the end of that shoe, I ended up getting up and leaving ahead 950. So go around, look at some machines and stuff, and see nothing. Go to the high limit slots area. Wife calls me, and talked to her on the phone for about 10 or 11 minutes, and ended up leaving. But I saw a friend in there. I wanted to have a chance to talk to him, and didn't get a chance because I was on the phone and the call was just going a little bit long. So I ended up leaving. So at this point, I always head in a certain direction, and in this direction there's a casino that's real close by, and there's a casino that's about 45 minutes away. Normally I go to the close by casino, and then I start heading in a direction that would start bringing me back toward home again. Today we're not going to do that. Today we're going to go further away, and we're going to skip that casino, that closer casino. We won't be able to come back to it. I mean, technically I could go to it right now, but I don't think it's worth the trip compared to the other one. The other casino, we're going to be able to play some blackjack and see if we can extend this winning today. And what are we up, like 1,500 already today? Let's see if we can get some more. So for now, letting you go, and I'll be back after the next stop. Alright guys, I am back. Oh my gosh, I hate this place so much. I never come here because this place has turned into such a dump. I'll be real brief about this. This was the number one place, first place that opened up in the area when they legalized gambling in this area. It was such a big deal. This place was huge, and they made it bigger and bigger and bigger, and just took money from people, and they kept on tightening their machines and screwing people more and more and more. Sound familiar? You might know the place. So, and then they started building stuff. They started building a bigger facility. They started building a hotel. They started building bars, nightclubs, all these things. And they keep on making more and more money off people, right? So soon, nearby states start to legalize gambling, right? So what's going to happen? You have a choice. You have a choice to be number one and the best place and the cleanest place and the safest place and the nicest place and offer people good things and make people happy, or you can screw people even more and take more money and have no future at all. Guess which one they picked? They picked the second one. I walk into this place. First of all, one floor is now completely empty. They used to have poker there. They used to have slot machines there. WPT used to be there. All this stuff. And now they got nothing there. I'd say a quarter of their slot machines are the old poker machines with the tiny old screens. They're all burned out old screens with the screen burn on them and stuff. And what do? They tighten up more. They got their machines set so low. I go into this place and I'm, just casually looking around, trying to find some kind of a decent play. And I see a play. There's a guy sitting at the machine, right? So it's a 50-cent play, and it's only good for like 2 spins. So it's going to cost $1, and it's going to hit or it's not going to hit. Pretty basic, no big deal. I'm not stressed. If he gets up, he gets up. If he doesn't, that's fine. I take a lap of the whole place. I come back, him and his girlfriend she was sitting at the machine next to it. This play is right there, and she didn't see it. She didn't understand it, obviously. And so they're shaking their head, leaving with no money. I sit down. I put a $5 bill in, because that's all I need. $5, hit the thing a couple times. I end up winning. I end up ahead $46. Okay, so I'm fine. Take another lap of the place. I go to the high limit blackjack area. The high limit blackjack used to be a free buffet, like a diamond club type thing. It wasn't Caesar's, but diamond buffet type of place, right? Where you have a high level card. They appreciate you, right? They give you free food. There's shrimp. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. I'm talking to my friends here, and I'm going the wrong way because I want to go on to the next casino that's also another example of the same stupidity. But anyway, so that's what they used to have. In fact, they used to have it set up where if you were playing high limit, they had like a table that had like chocolates and all kinds of nice stuff there, nuts, things like that you could have. They got rid of that. They got rid of their lounge. They got rid of that buffet area, and they kept on tightening as the business went away to other states. So now the high limit area is in this lounge where that used to be. So they don't have all the electrical and things set up because it wasn't originally intended for that. So when a pit boss wants to call someone, he has to leave the pit and walk across the room where the phone is at the wall because, cordless phones, that's impossible. God forbid they actually, or using a cell phone, no way. They have to use a corded phone across the room. I walk back there. They have 2 tables open, 3 tables open. They have a baccarat table, which I'm not interested in. It's fun to watch baccarat because all the Asians get all excited and stuff, and it's fun. It's a fun atmosphere when there's 30 people crowded around one table playing. And then they have a double-deck table and a 6-deck table, right? The 6-deck table is a hand shuffle, which I hate, okay? If you are a ploppy, you like it because you're like, oh, now they can't cheat. They can't set up the machines. Whatever. I don't like it because it slows down the game. And they have a double deck. The double deck is not a hand shuffle, amazingly. It's got an actual machine. Okay, that's really interesting. But the double deck has terrible rules. Sometimes they don't even play one full deck of the double deck. That's how crappy it is. Double only on 10 and 11. Split once. No double after split. It's like, why don't you just spit into people's faces and grab their money? It's like, it's so stupid. So, 6-deck table is the one I'm interested in. I'm like, all right, there's one guy there, and he's halfway through the shoe. I'm going to just take my time, take one more lap of the place, make sure I get everything, and then I'm going to come back and play. So, I do that. I come back, and it was perfect timing. I walk up to the table. The dealer is shuffling. I've got my smiling, ploppy, dumbass face on, right? I'm an idiot. Can I give you my money face on, you know? And I walk in, looking around at look at the ceiling, look how pretty, acting like a ploppy. I walk up, and the table is reserved. I'm like, what in the heck are you doing? I shake my head, I put my hands up in the air, and I'm like, I can't believe this place. I said it. I walk out, I'm frustrated. I walk around, go to the lower limit tables. I'm like, maybe I can find something decent here. I find one table, halfway through the shoe, $15 minimum 6-deck. He will not start a new shoe. He has to put his mask on before I walk out. Hold on, sir. Let me put my mask on. You might be diseased. See my good customer service? Yeah, I'm going to put my arm out in your face because you might be diseased, and I'm going to put my mask on. All this air flowing around me from the air conditioning above my head and all that, that's safe. But the little bit of air coming out of my face at this guy, he thinks that that's going to make him sick. So that's frustrating. I said, is this a hand shuffle? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'm good. I walk away. I'm on my way out, and I see the pit boss. That was in the high limit. I said, do you guys really only have one table back there that's a 6-deck other than your crappy double deck? I said that. Other than your crappy double deck? And he's like, yeah. He said, I saw you leaving, and I called my boss, and they said we can't bring another dealer over. He said, there might be something out there, or if you go back and talk to the manager, they might open the table for you, because I think I have an extra dealer. I said, no thanks, I'm not interested in waiting, and I left. So, it's like, well, look what you did to yourself. Let me tell you how they had so much money because of this casino when it first came out, that it's next to some water, and there's a huge hill on the other side of it. So it's like wedged between a hill and water. It brought so much money to this town, they removed the hills and took the dirt out so they could build businesses, and this town became prosperous because of this casino. They had that much money, but then they treat people like that, and now it's mostly deserted in there, and they deserve it. So, now that I've had my rant, we're going on to the next place. The next place, same situation. They had so much money, now they don't. I'm going to keep it brief. Now, they built a golf course with all the money that they had. Now, they're so poor that the place is abandoned. The floor is peeling. They have tape on the floor, keeping the tape together. They have a parking for double-wide trailers because they need the money coming in. So you can park your double-wide there if you want for a month or 6 months or whatever you want, and pay them rent because they need the money that bad and they can't fix the floor. So that's the place I'm going to. You can't play blackjack there because it doesn't open till late. Actually, it's going to be open by the time I get there, but it doesn't open till late. But when it is open, there's only 2 people, and one of them is a supervisor and the other one is a supervisor/dealer because they have so few people dealing. I'm going to go in there. It's about 25 minutes from here. Look at their slots. Probably going to hopefully get 1 or 2 plays and mock their place again, and then I'll be out of there. So letting you go for now and frustratingly moving on. All right, guys, I am back. Oh, a little bit of comedy here. Oh, this place is a dump. All right. So I walk in this place and I check out all the slots, and all I find is 50 cents and a couple of machines. 25 cents, actually. Walk around, nothing. I go look at the blackjack tables. Terrible tables. I mean, okay, not terrible tables. The rules are good, but there are 2 blackjack tables open, and one of them is completely full, and then there's another one, and I noticed there's only one guy at this table. This guy is huge. This is a really big and tall black man bald, real nice guy, super nice guy. And he had a cross around his neck, and it was a wooden cross. And, I didn't pay attention enough to see if it was a rosary or just a cross. I'm thinking it was just a wooden cross. And I sat down next to him, and we're 2/3 of the way through the shoe. Actually, maybe around halfway through the shoe. And I sit next to him, and I'm just going to wait for the next shoe just to see what's going on and play a little bit. The table minimums were $15 to a $500 max. So I sit down next to him, and he's in the middle of a hand. He's got 12 against a 4. I'm like, okay, well, he's got a $500 hand out there, table max. So we're going to find out if he knows anything. So he hits it, gets an ace, and the dealer ends up busting. It wouldn't have made a difference either way. I'm like, well, he's obviously not a card counter. I can tell you from his first hand, because if he's betting table max, there's nowhere to go up from there. That means that's his max as well. And if he is hitting a 12 against a 4, that means the count is negative if he is a counter, and he would be betting minimum, not maximum. So I watch a couple hands. He goes to 2 hands of 500, and he's betting the side bet, and then he accidentally bet 525 and wins the hand. So they throw 25 back to him and pay the 500. What a freaking scam. You accepted the bet. I bet you legally there's no way that they can do that. But anyway, so he doesn't know what he's doing. He's losing money. The shoe, he says, he asked me a question. I forget what he said. The dealer said to me, would you like to get in? I said, no. I said, I'm okay. I said, I respect people. I'm going to let him finish his shoe. The last thing I would want is a guy jumping in on my shoe. And he looks at me. Then he goes back to playing. Doesn't say anything. And then he looks at me again. He said, you've got good energy. I like you. Why don't you get in? So I'm like, Davis, I don't want to get in or something. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to get in, but I said, okay. So I get in. When I get in, he sits out. What is going on here? You forced me. You not forced me, but you told me to get in. I get in, you sit out. Next hand, he gets in. I win a few, lose a few. And then the shoe ends. And I'm like, what? The shoe ended. It's like barely 3.5 decks and the shoe is ending. So, this is one of the places that I update. I'm going to update it with this penetration here, because they must have thought he knew what he was doing, because he was betting so high and they were giving him terrible penetration. So, anyway, I end up leaving ahead like $30. And as I'm leaving, I talk to him for a minute, and he's like, you're a good man. I can tell you know what you're doing with blackjack. I'm like, well, I might be a good man, but I'm not very good with blackjack. And I took off. Now, interesting thing about this guy is when he hits a hand, he doesn't just tap the table like you're supposed to. He'll open his entire hand, his whole palm, face down on the table, and then he'll tap one finger real slow, and like he'll move it like a 1/4 inch to hit. And he gets up and goes to the bathroom when I was leaving there. And I said to the dealer, I said, if I was you, I would ask him to make his signals a little bit better, because last thing you need is someone betting table max saying he hit when he stood, and then you're on the hook because the camera couldn't tell the difference. And so I get up, I go to the cashier, and this place is so sweaty normally. I can tell you that 2 pit bosses were watching us play, and I was betting table minimum, so it didn't matter, because I was waiting for the shoe to end so I could actually play, until I saw that they half-decked the guy, half-shoed the guy. So I go to the cashier, and this place is so sweaty. In the past, I've had like 300 in chips, and they asked me for ID. So I go there, and I hand her the chips, and she starts cashing me out, and I tell her about this guy at the table. And she's like, that's so funny you mentioned that, because they were just talking about him on the break. She said he went through 3 cashiers in one shoe. That's how slow he was playing. And I said to her, I said, I know, I said, I don't have that kind of time. I said, God forbid I'm down and I'm trying to get my money back, I might be here all night. And she chuckled and I took off. So, all right, where are we now? I have no clue where we are here. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go back to that other casino? Let me look at a map here and decide what to do, because I'm not really too excited right now. All the stuff that's been going on here. Let's see directions to that casino. All right, and let's look at this other casino and look at directions and see the difference in time. I almost feel like I should go back to the casino that I played blackjack at, even though it's going to add a lot of time to my day. I think I should. Man, but then I'll be so far away. Another half hour more, unless I go straight back. I don't know. I've got about 12 miles here before I get to the main road. I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. All right, guys. I made a decision. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me before. I'm going to go back to the place that didn't have enough dealers. It's on the way. I have to pass it to get to the highway anyway. So I'm going to stop there and see if they have any dealers in the high limit. If not, I'm going to just move on. I won't play any more blackjack if they don't. So because otherwise I'm actually moving further away again. I got closer to home and then moved further. I just don't want to do that. It's getting late and the sun is down. It's Friday night. The casinos are going to start getting crazy, and I really don't want to be there when there's so many people that I can't get the machine I want because people are waiting in line to get it. So I'm going to hop back in there, and then I'll be back and let you know what happened. All right, guys, I am back. I got those guys. I got them. I got a couple bucks out of them anyway. I went into the high limit again, and still 3 tables, but the 6th deck was not reserved. Dun, dun, dun. There's a guy there, though, and he was playing with a lot of money. And I'm not really following his game here. I'm thinking maybe he's just playing minimum, table minimum, even though he's got $10,000 in front of him. And maybe getting lucky on the side bet, because he pretty much flat bet the whole time I was there. 2 hands at $50. With $5 on the side bet, and this is one of the side bets that pays huge when it hits. And basically, he pretty much played basic strategy the whole way. The count was going up, but he wasn't raising his bets, which, I act like I'm surprised that people aren't playing, with a count. But I look at that every single player. I see my bet, I see their bet, I see how it's moving when it's positive. Obviously negative, it's hard to tell except for a couple deviations. But so I play, and the table was slow, the other player was slow, the dealer was slow, but I was able to make some money. I was at that table for a while. The low for the session was minus, I want to say like 300 probably, and the high for the session was probably around 600 or so, and ended up leaving ahead $555. Now, so here's one thing I did was there was one point where the count kept going up, and the pit boss starts paying attention, and then he has to make a phone call, and of course the phone is right behind me. He's talking about some guy, and then he comes back to the table, so I bet the side bet for the dealer, so it's a tip and a side bet, and it was $5, and I bet it, and wouldn't you know, the damn thing hits, and the dealer ends up making money. I made money, and it was just kind of funny that I was using it for cover, and then it actually hits, and we made whatever it was on there. So not much, but we made money. So from there, I went, and I'm going to go to the cashier and cash out. I've already looked at all the machines and stuff. It wasn't very long ago, and I can check a few of them on my way to the cashier. But I saw one that is only in this position for like very little time, like under 2 minutes, for every half hour, 45 minutes. And it's hard to catch it. Maybe it might be even every hour. You almost never see it. So I sat down and played that for a minute or so, and then it went away, and I ended up getting $2 out of it, so plus two big dollars. So for the session, I was ahead 555 on the blackjack, 2 on the slots, and now I feel better, and I'm moving on to my next spot, which is going to be some slots. So it's going to be a little bit of a drive here, so I'm heading toward home, and I'll be back to update you shortly. Alright guys, real quick here. One thing, in this casino they had this thing on the screen that said 67% of Americans think that we're honest with our games. Really? You're bragging? Not 99%, not 90%. 2 out of 3 think you're honest, and so you're posting that, and you have the credits down below about the survey that was done and who did it. I think that's so ridiculous. If they're bragging about that, what do you think the real number could be? That's just crazy. So I thought you'd enjoy that little tidbit here. 67% think that they're honest. Alright guys, I am back. So I had kind of a tough time in there, but in the end it turned out okay. When I walked in there, I saw how packed it was, and I was just like deflated. I thought, man, everybody's going to be here. And I did see maybe 5 people in there who knew what they were doing, but not as bad as it usually is. I did see one friend of mine that was chasing a big one, and he'd been on it for about 4.5 hours. Probably got 2 to 4 hours to go on that one. But the good news is he was only down about 1,000 so far, and it should pay about between 5,000 and 6,000. So good for him on that. I really didn't find much at first, so I played kind of an okay, not great play that I normally wouldn't play. Other people would, but I normally wouldn't, and I ended up not doing very well on that one. I left that machine down $320 something. So I had a long way to go. So I go over to another machine that also has some bigger variants, but I've been doing better at it now that I've learned the machine a little bit more, and I played that one at about $20 a spin, and starting off down 300, $20 a spin can be intimidating. Played that through. At my low point, I was down about 1,300 for the day, and I ended up hitting that, and it paid $1,730. So that pulled me back up, and for the day, see, if it's 17, I keep thinking my numbers are wrong here, but I'm right. I ended up ahead $406. For some reason, I kept thinking I should be ahead more than that, but it's not. Plus $406 there, and yeah, that's right. Right now, I am moving on to the next spot, and I don't expect much from that one, but guess what? With this win, I'm ahead for the week. So within 48 hours, erased an $8,500 loss, and I had a couple other losses in there, 2,000 and a 1,200, and still ended up about even for the week. I'll get the final numbers in and let you know in the next episode. I may be off slightly. So alright, we're moving on to the next spot, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, all done in there. One in there. When I actually pulled into the VIP parking, I saw the one guy that's like the head guy around here. It's always running around, and he was putting a big pizza in his car, and I walked in, started looking around. He immediately came up to me and started talking to me. Talked to him for a few minutes, and then really couldn't find much to play. Finally played a play that was kind of not the smartest thing to play. I was kind of playing the odds, so to speak, and I ended up, that was at $4 a spin. Ended up losing, I think, 104 or something like that on that one. But the upside wasn't that much, so, you know, even if you can guarantee that you're going to win, if the range that you're going to win is not big enough, it's not worth playing. And that's a mistake I made there, and I knew I made that mistake, but I did it anyway. So looked around and couldn't find anything else. I was just looking and looking. I wanted to book a win, and I couldn't find anything. And finally I checked the machine I'd already checked when I first walked in, and there was a play on it now. That one was at $6 a spin, and I was down as much as $400 before I finally hit, and I ended up leaving ahead a massive $8. So, still left ahead, but I would have been fine leaving down a little bit if I had to. But it did turn out to be a play, and it didn't make me much, but it made me just enough to put me over the line. So, how many places did we visit today? Let me just think here in my head. 1, 2, wait, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Only 5? I guess only 5. We got off to a late start, and it was dark. Oh, no, wait, I did more than that. 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stops. So 7 stops, and we made, 1,600, somewhere in there. Not a bad day, not the best day, kind of a long day, tired, and now I'm heading toward home. I got to get some gas, get my wife's car at least full by the time I get home, so she's not complaining about that. And it turns out my car needs kind of a cheap part, and it'll be around tomorrow, and the car should be ready. So not a big deal, and it's just a gasket, and that'll be done tomorrow. And then going to Amish country and getting that furniture stuff taken care of tomorrow. I'm going to ask my mom I wonder if it's too late to call her. If she wanted something from there, I could order it from her, put the down payment down for her, and maybe when they delivered the thing that I ordered, they could deliver hers as well. So I'll check on that with her. And right now I'm just gonna take it easy and head home. 14 degrees outside, and should be home in a few hours. Short trip today, about 380. Most likely I'm going to end up about 380 miles today. And yeah, that's about it. I will be going to the casino tomorrow. It'll probably be a quick in and out. Not much should happen there, but if it does, I will record it and let you know. Otherwise, hope everyone has a good weekend. If you have any questions or comments, mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.